Sam, you talked a lot about that this is quite a special time, and the opportunity for you at the moment is actually connecting, with your family, mates, and that. Why is that important for you?
I think that connection, it's real easy to get caught up in your own little world, your own little bubble. Excuse the pun. But it's easy to do that, where times like this, it's actually harder to keep connected with people because you are stuck in your own little confined space, whether it's a small section or if you're a primary industry, you've got a bit more scope. But keeping connected is just keeping you sane, really. It's keeping you connected with your mates, yarning away. Sometimes, I've been talking to friends and we're actually talking about, nothing really, but it's actually just the social element of catching up and finding out what they've been up to and what they're doing to keep themselves busy or excited and in shape.
Sam, just with the importance of, particularly if people are finding it a bit tough at the moment, what's being a good listener for you? What do you think about some of the skills about being a good listener?
It's actually really, really hard to be a good listener. You've actually just got to sit there and absorb what the person's saying, and sometimes people might talk for 30 seconds, some people might talk for 2 minutes and kind of get things off their chest and share their experiences, whether they're good or bad. The best piece of advice I've been given is silence is gold. So sometimes you actually need that silence before you answer a question or ask a question, just wait. And sometimes it might be 5 seconds, sometimes it might be 10 before people answer the question. It gives people time to think so they can answer it the way they want to and hopefully truthfully.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, one interesting, I think, is particularly as practical people and particularly blokes, often we're wanting to solve problems pretty quickly, like sort of move on to the next thing. And I know, and I've sort of, when I've heard a lot of people who just want someone to listen to them, they actually don't want them to necessarily solve the problem. In your experience, how does that roll with you?
Yeah, I'm probably a typical Kiwi bloke. I want to get in there, make a plan, and right, we'll do this and we'll sort it out, and right, we're at a good plan, let's go forward. But like you say, sometimes just listening is the best thing, and that's what you've got to do.
And sometimes people talk through and actually come up with the answer themselves, and you've just really helped them by your questions, haven't you?
Yeah, sometimes they know the answer, but they just need someone to reconfirm what they're thinking is the right step. And I think that's the hard thing when you are taking on that listening role, to just do that, listen.
People who are maybe feeling a bit more under the pump with some of the implications of this on their business, what strategies do you use that work for when things aren't going according to plan?
Yeah, so we're in that situation at the moment. The NZRU will announce what's going on with the players soon, but we're all facing that as well with our jobs. So the biggest thing we can do is use our time wisely. For myself, we weren't allowed to play in Japan for 4 weeks. I think it ended up being 6 weeks. So a friend and I, we thought, right, what can we do with our time? Do we sit at home and just watch TV and get grumpy and the kids will get angry? How can we actually use this time to better ourselves? So we've actually started our level 2 coaching course. Not saying that we want to be coaches in the future, but it just means that if we are asked to go down and referee our children's rugby game, whether it's Ripper or under 10s, or even help out coaching, you can apply some of those principles. And that's one thing that we did to try make a positive out of the negative.
Do you find actually doing that, staying connected and talking through some ideas like that was helpful for you?
Yeah, it was great. We asked a few other players, do they want to do it? And some people, it was definitely the worst case scenario. They would think there'd be nothing worse than that. Other people, they were quite excited by it. So it's you got to find out what you're interested in and go from there, and that'll flow. But there's so many opportunities. Whether you want to get your heavy traffic license, you can do all the research. So once lockdown does finish, you can go into an AA and actually sit it and get your learners, and then you've actually started that process rather than just be twiddling your thumbs.
And just around just keeping yourself, with your routines around keeping physically fit, how's that all going?
Yeah, keeping myself fit was very interesting when I first got here to the farm. We kind of come off that 4 to 6 weeks of training but not playing, so I was still pretty fit, pretty strong. So then got here to the farm, obviously no gym, no real flat area to run on, so had to change what I was doing. But the way it's kind of panned out, this is really our break now, so I've actually pulled my training back a long way. I found a few things in the old shed, and I'm pretty much made my own home gym. It's all a bit rickety and a little bit dodgy, but it seems to give me an opportunity to at least do as much as I can, and then hopefully once we do get back into the rugby season, whenever that is, I'm ready to go. I'm not too far behind the eight ball.